Hey, it's Jordan here, and if you're watching this video, it means you signed up to grab my mixing cheat sheet. I created this extra video here just to help you get the most out of this cheat sheet by understanding some key concepts and letting you hear it in action. Now, the funny thing is, I have gotten a lot of hate about this cheat sheet over the years, where people write in and they say, there's no magic formula, every song is different, there's no way this can work. And look, yeah, every song is different and you should always do what's best for the song, but actually, they're wrong. There is a formula, and there are certain moves you can make in the mix that pretty much always work. And I'm pretty confident about that because people write into me all the time and talk about how they improved their mixes just from using this cheat sheet. All right, let's dive in and show you a few examples. So let's start with kick drum. So there's the raw kick. Now let's pull up the cheat sheet. And under kick, under EQ boost, what do we got? Okay, so between 50 and 70 hertz for the low end, 2.5 to 4.5K for slap, and then 8K for click and attack. So I always like to boost the top end first, so let's try that. Let's load up my favorite EQ plugin, the SSL channel. All right, 8K. Okay, that's good. All right, next, let's look down between 2.5 and 4.5K. Get the whole drum kit in. I think we need a lot more top end here. Okay, that's sounding better. Now, where do we want to cut? So if it sounds muddy, we want to cut between 150 and 300. Or if it sounds more mid-rangey, boxy, or kind of like a basketball bouncing, we want to cut further up around 700 to 900. So to me, this kick sounds more muddy. So let's try cutting around 300. That's sounding more like a kick drum. Now let's also boost between 50 and 70. So let's take right in the middle, around 60. It's usually where I boost for a kick drum. Bypass. Back on. Starting to sound like a kick drum. Now there's also a compression column here. So for a kick drum, we want slow attack, fast release. So let's just use the compressor built into the SSL channel here. Let's go for a 3-to-1 ratio. And now we have a fast attack, slow attack switch. So we want to make sure that's at slow. We want to use the fastest release possible. Bypass. So there you go. Sounds like a kick drum now, just following all the tips on this cheat sheet. Let's do one more here. Let's go for the bass guitar. So here we are. Got some compression and stuff on there, but no EQ. So let's pull up the EQ again. Look at our cheat sheet. All right, so we want to boost around 50 to 80 for sub and low end, 1K for attitude and cut, and then around 2.5K for grind and presence. All right, let's try that out. Let's start with 1K. Sounds good. We could maybe try a little more presence and string noise in the top end. So let's try around 2K. Okay, and to cut, I don't think we have any boxiness in this bass, but we could add some more low end here. Bypassed. Nice, way more attitude and grind on that bass now. All right, let me give you one more example. Let's go to background vocals. Let's check out some harmonies that we have in the chorus of this song. She's shining like a star in the dark of the night, she's burning. All right, so there's the harmony without any EQ. Let's pull up our cheat sheet. All right, background vocals. So boosting 12K for air and brightness, maybe 3 to 4.5 for definition, and then boosting 800 for fullness. Let's try that out.
Shining like a star in the dark of the night. Shining like a star in the dark of the night. She's burning, burning.
Gives them a nice lift.
Shining like a star in the dark of the night. She's burning.
Okay, and we said around 4.5K for definition.
Shining like a star in the dark of the night. She's burning.
Don't want to get in the way of the lead vocal, so we'll just do a little bit there. And by the way, that's one key thing I want to say here is just because it says boost or cut these frequencies on the cheat sheet, that doesn't mean you have to do that. That just means if you hear something wrong or the track isn't sounding the way you want, those are the places to look. So if you think, oh, my background vocal is not bright enough, where should I boost it? Try 12K first. Or going back to kick drum, if you think, wow, this kick sounds really mid-rangey and boxy, where should I cut it? Well, then you would look here and you'd cut around 700 to 900. So you should never do anything in the mix just because it's written somewhere. You should be guided by your ears, but this sheet is just gonna show you where to start looking to fix or enhance the sound that you're looking for. All right, back to our harmonies here. Let's try the 800 hertz boost. This one's interesting.
Shining like a star in the dark of the night. She's burning, burning. Shining like a star in the dark of the night. She's burning.
That's actually added a lot of fullness to the vocal layers there and doing it in a way that gets out of the way of the main vocal. Now in the cut column here, we've got 1 to 2.5K to make space for the lead vocal, and then maybe a low shelf to get rid of some of the low end. So let's try that. I actually don't think we really need the boost at 4.5K, so let's try cutting around 1.5 instead, try and get out of the way of the lead vocal and tuck this harmony in.
Shining like a star in the dark of the night. She's burning, burning through. Shining like a star.
Let's try to get rid of some of the low end as well.
Shining like a star in the dark of the night. She's burning, burning through.
Let's check it out in solo.
Shining like a star in the dark of the night. She's burning.
Still a lot of low end in there. Let's try to high pass filter.
Shining like a star in the dark of the night.
All right, there we go. Now let's check it out with the lead vocal bypassed.
Shining like a star in the dark of the night. She's burning.
Back on.
Shining like a star in the dark of the night. She's burning.
That's sitting beautifully now. All right, I hope this video gives you a better idea of how to use this cheat sheet. And I'm sure if you start trying these moves in the mix, you're gonna start hearing a big difference right away. And if you wanna reach the top of your mixing game and get mixes that compete on Spotify or on the radio, then you've gotta stop believing that there's no formula for achieving that, because there is, you just don't know it yet. And if you wanna learn that formula, you're in the right place. Just make sure you hit subscribe and keep watching this channel. Now, if you want to get that entire formula all at once, I do have a complete program that is a replacement for expensive audio college, but it actually works. If you want to check that out, there's a link in the description below. And lastly, if you're liking this channel and you want another helpful video, then go ahead and click here and watch this one.